So this morning is going to be a good day because we have a guest, and before we start with our guest, I'm going to just show you what we have in store for you. So we have two different types of activities today to help you get through one thing at a time. Remember, this is Grow, where we use strategies to help us grow our productivity. So one is to break the task. Screenshot this if you want to. Break the task into bite-sized goals. I give you 3 bubbles here, but you might need more than those 3. And then make sure you are taking breaks to stretch. I'm actually in a little bit of neck pain today, so you're gonna see me stretching while I'm working today, and you can try to do the same thing before, during, and after your process. Now, let's bring our guest on, and then we're gonna give you 25 minutes to work together with our guest. So I wanted to give you time to just share your story about creative independence. Tell us how it is for you as a doctoral student, and then we'll start our session and working together for about 25 minutes.
So hi everyone, my name is Jamela. I'm a first-year doctoral student at Howard University. I'm in the Education, Leadership, and Policy Studies program, and my research interest is primarily in education policy, like the mental health impacts, and just I'm really exploring those 2 areas. And so with my creative process, I feel like it's ever changing. I'm really I feel like every week, every month, I'm finding different methods that work for me. So one thing that really works for me is writing out things like my whiteboard, actually utilizing my calendar, and then kind of being goal and task oriented in terms of what needs to be done immediately in this moment, and then just kind of taking it step by step from there. And then also I just really lean into my thoughts. I daydream a lot, so I really try to take productive and meaningful moments from those daydreams. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What thoughts come from that space? And I try to apply it to my work just to help keep me motivated, and just also keep the spirit of curiosity and just openness a part of the creative process.
That's beautiful. Did you find any strategies in the guide that matched that or helped to expand that for you?
I did. I really liked one part with so first one is priorities. Just being able to clearly identify my priorities is really important. So that keeps me aligned. Okay, what needs to be done? What do I want to do? What do I want to accomplish? And then for the R part, just start. For me, literally just starting is everything. Because I can sit there and I can just be in my own world, but just getting up and getting started really allows me to lean into everything that I mentioned previously. And then organize, breathe, start. I really have been taking into practice the importance of breathing and how that impacts your nervous system and your thoughts and everything. And sometimes you don't realize how you shorten your breath when you're trying to get a task done, which can make you feel more anxious and just limit your creativity and the oxygen just flowing through your body. So really just taking deep breaths before getting started really helps with that. And then just any type of ideas that I have in terms of what happens after, I just always keep a little notes pad on my phone, and I'm always writing things down. Yeah,
that's really something I have to do too. Write my notes, breathing, stretching and breathing, which we're going to do today from the activity. And then I'm also wondering though, when you started your program, was it hard? A lot of us, especially when we come through the master's and undergrad, we kind of have it. And then I know for me, when I got to my doctoral program, it was whoa, this is way different than what I imagined.
Yeah.
I had this expectation and this excitement to become a scholar in a specific way, and it was totally upside down. And Howard is known to be a really, 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 really hard program. So can you talk a little bit about that? How was it for you with your productivity strategies as a scholar? Did you have any moments when it was really hard and you wanted to give up? Did you need to take breaks or time or anything like that?
Yeah, no, for me, it was definitely a major transition, especially the workload in terms of the literature we have to dive into. So much was due. I really lean on my cohort for support. There were definitely times where I take breaks, and so I utilize that by working out.
and like going out and enjoying other aspects of life other than like academics. I notice that when I give myself permission to like pause, take a break, I'm going to go for a run, I'm going to go meet up with some friends, it allows for me to get the space that I need to be really focused when it is time for me to like sit down and read and get my work done. So just having like a wide range of like options in terms of just keeping me motivated and inspired, but then also having those strictly dedicated times to do my work is something that I found worked for me. And then also just noting that like I don't have to get everything done at once. I can take it piece by piece. So just planning out the different pieces ahead of time, like before they're due, is something that I've noticed has really helped me stay on track. And I have had moments like feeling overwhelmed, but then that's when I just really lean into like talking to my cohort members, like advisor, and telling them how I'm feeling and like seeking advice. Like, what do you do to help get you through these moments? And so that's been really helpful.
Yeah, I have the same, and I think all of the strategies you're saying you do are totally aligned to the ones we shared this morning. That breaking things down into those bite-sized goals. I never even used to do that. Like I would go into big projects, like I'm gonna get this done, and then I look a week later and I would feel like I didn't get anything done until I started like calendarizing. And it seems like common sense for some people, but for others it's really not. It's really like, oh, this is a strategy I should have been using. So thank you for sharing. How did you learn your strategies? Were they things you picked up along the way, like in middle school or high school?
It's been a process. I was not always like this, and this is the first time in a very long time that I'm actually being consistent with this. Like I feel like honestly, both my parents are teachers, and like my mom just constantly drilled into me like certain executive functioning skills, but I didn't apply it independently really up until this process. Like I was kind of just like winging it, like I would do things haphazardly, but this is the first time in my like grown adult life where I'm sticking to it and I'm holding myself accountable, because this has always been something that I've wanted to do. So really just utilizing those strategies that like was given to me, like those tools during my childhood, and like actually applying it like intentionally.
Shout out to your mom and your dad, the teachers, and the executive function that they exposed you to. I'm writing a paper right now about the affordance of executive function. So do you feel like she was giving it to you like by the books, like organizational, or was it more holistic when she was exposing it to you?
I feel like it was more holistic, and she kind of like personalized it to like me and like how I go about things, which was great because I had her support. But now being here on my own, I have to like drive that factor myself. So I'm doing it.
Yes, you are, and I am so
Yeah.
glad that you're doing it.
Yeah.
That was like so good to know. And research shows that the holistic, giving people holistic versions of help with executive function is way more effective. So,
Oh, definitely.
mommy knew what she was doing.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we're both ready. I'm gonna set my timer and put myself on mute.
Okay.
And then you can put yourself on mute too. And we're gonna work for 25 minutes. Don't mind the comments. We have a lot of weird comments I'm seeing come through. It just means we're cute.
Okay.
So we're just gonna ignore it. And yeah, I'm gonna set my timer for 25. So everyone at home, set your timers for 25. Thank you again for being with us this morning. My love, you're so beautiful.
Thank you. So nice meeting you.
Yes. And so then we'll start back up in 25 minutes and we'll talk about how the process was for us.
Okay, sounds great.
All right. Did your timer go off?
Yes, it did.
Okay, I didn't want to stop working.
Yeah, it was just a nice little like groove.
Yeah, I feel like I need to make this 45 minutes, but
What seeds did you grow while you were working today? The seeds that I was able to grow today was I was able to finish, in terms of like the work that I did. I was able to finish editing an essay that's like due this week and send it to my advisor, and I was able to begin the next step of a project that I have, and it was great because I had an outline going, and I was able to like jot down like some thoughts that I was thinking while filling in my essay, and I had some like lo-fi music playing in the background, which just added to like a nice like vibe and just allowed for me to feel really just like open and like aware and like awake and ready to just dive into the work.
same. One of our sisters is in the chat. She said she wouldn't be mad at 45 minutes. I'm gonna think about it because I did not want to stop. I was doing the same. Today I was actually working on pulling out things to paraphrase for a paper that I have to write too. And normally on Monday mornings I'm trying to get ready for the week, but I was able to do that this weekend. So that this morning I could actually like get into work, and I want to work for the full day. Janelle said she agrees. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. I could actually see the chat today, which is not something I normally can do. But anyway, yeah, it felt really good. Were you able to take any brain breaks? Did you need any brain breaks?
I actually I didn't need any brain breaks. Like I was reading over my essay, then I was like also like I talked to myself out loud. So I guess like maybe that's a brain break for me. And I was like asking myself, like, does this make sense here? Like, what do I want to say? Like, I want to rephrase things differently. So kind of like taking that pause from like typing and just like talking myself through the process of like what I'm trying to like achieve, I guess in a way is like a brain break for me. And then like I just did like a couple like neck stretches here and there. But yeah, I just felt really just like focused, which was nice to just be in that place of being able to be still, be focused, and get the task done.
Same. I had to actually remind myself to take my stretch breaks.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh yeah, let me do that. So I looked at the time, both times I did it, and it was really, really helpful because like I said, I've been on the computer probably for like 5 days straight, and just like I get in this zone that I can't get out of sometimes, where I'm just like hyper focused, getting every task on my list done, and I love it, but my neck and my back don't. So
Yes.
so I forced myself to be like stretch, 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 stretch. And it felt really good. Like if the mic was on, you would have heard the neck cracks while I was stretching. Which is not good. I'm too young for that. But I'm gonna scroll up because I just saw like a longer comment. So Paul Walker said 25 may work individually. People may be suggesting 45 minutes due to this feeling like a group effort. And even though we are working alone in our own projects. Yeah, like, and it's interesting because we're using the Pomodoro method where you're supposed to do 25, take a break for 10. So technically we could do it where we took our talk break and then started back up to do another 25. But you know, it's like people have 9 to 5s, and I want to respect that and give people time to get their self together to go to work and whatever else they have to do. Because I usually teach on Mondays too, but we're on spring break right now. So, yes. But anyway, so I don't know, I just feel like this was a really good session. I'm gonna try to pull these off of your face if I can, because it's hiding you for me. But anyway, so other than that though, like, do you have any advice or suggestions for anyone who is maybe, I don't want to use the word struggling, but they're really persevering through their own work with school or trying to create a business, like things that require them to really just focus in on the way you were successful today?
Things that allowed me to focus in that made me successful today. Okay, so I think just having like a small like short term list of like things you want to do to achieve that goal, but then also add in moments where you're able to like pivot from that space to just give yourself like a brain break. Like I think I went to, like earlier this week I had a bunch of work due, and I spent the morning at a museum, just like walking around. It was really nice. And then I came back home and I did some work. So just giving yourself like moments to like move your body, like explore other avenues. And then from there, I was inspired to like do other things in my work, and it just sparked other thoughts. So just prioritize what needs to get done, but then also prioritize pivoting. And when you're doing that pivot, make sure it makes you happy. So that way you can come back and you can like feel focused and ready to get your work done.
I feel like we really were able to hit everything, and I'm grateful that you were able to use the brain break of stretching a little bit with us and telling us how it works. I also love that you skipped ahead in the guide to talk about taking that when finished create break. And so from the research, it shows you need to, when you're done, take a break to play, to rest, or create. And so a lot of the books that I've read, they always say rest or play, but no one actually gives us permission to create. And I feel like that's what we need as geniuses, I would say. We need a space to just create something totally different. And so you speaking about pivoting was totally perfect. Let me look at the chat. I see my sisters in here. I love that too, because sometimes when I pivot, I'll start to academically shame myself. Exactly. And that's the thing, like the pivot should not be academic based at all. Like do something else if you're doing something academic. If you're building your business and you don't consider yourself an academic, if you're here and you're like, I'm working on my business plans, my LLC, my 501c3, all of the things that actually require research and reading, trademarks, like you have to read, you have to research to do all of those things. If you want to be the most innovative person in your industry, you're going to have to read whether you go to college or not. Do you have any closing words or anything you want us to know about, anything you want to promote?
I don't really have anything that I'm promoting at the moment. I'm like coming up with ideas, so if I do, I'll definitely share it at a later point. But I just would say, when accomplishing your goals, just always prioritize your happiness in the process, and I feel like it'll just make for like a smoother and happier experience.
That was perfect.